Hello and welcome back to Canada Top to Bottom. Now, very exciting news for those in the Express Entry pool. There have been two huge all-program draws in the last 2 weeks. Now, if you're not sure or have no idea what Express Entry is, then check out the link above because we explain all about what Express Entry is. Now, the last all-program draw, all-program meaning everybody in the Express Entry pool, regardless of your category, everybody is eligible to be selected. The last all-program draw was January the 18th. Feels like a long time ago now. And historically, draws are every 2 weeks. So 2 weeks later, nothing. 2 weeks later, nothing. We thought, where have the draws gone? What's happening? But March 15th, there was a huge draw. They invited 7,000 people to apply, invitations to apply for permanent residence in Canada. Now, the cut-off score was 490 points. It was still pretty high because there'd been, there's been a 2-month gap. But 490, so we thought, okay, this is okay. The draws are back. 1 week later, not 2 weeks, the following week, March the 23rd, there was another draw inviting another 7,000 people for invitations to apply. And this all-important score had dropped again to 484, the lowest it has been since before COVID. So if you're not sure what we mean by CRS scores, cut-off scores, invitations to apply, again, check out the link above. It explains everything about Express Entry. So as I said, normally the draws are every 2 weeks, but this is 2 consecutive weeks where there's been a huge draw. 14,000 people invited within those 2 weeks. Never heard of before. So draws are back. Let's hope they stay, but who knows? So since the last all-program draw in January, there have been 3 provincial nomination program specific draws. Again, if provincial nominations don't mean anything to you, PNPs, they're also known as. We have a whole playlist on each of the different provinces and their provincial nomination programs, so check those out. And also since January the 18th, since the last all-program draw, there has been 1 federal skilled worker only draw. Now that's never happened before in the history of Express Entry. So that was also a bit of a curveball thrown in there, which no one was really expecting. But again, great news. Things are changing. We don't know in what direction they're going to go, but the really, really good news is that Express Entry draws are back and they're inviting a lot of people.
And in terms of current distribution of the Express Entry pool, we're having to do a little bit of maths to give you some of this information because the statistics we're going from were provided on March the 22nd and the second big draw happened the following day. So we have to do a little bit of maths and a tiny bit of assumption, but our numbers will be pretty close to accurate for how many people are currently in the Express Entry pool. There are about 6,000 people with a CRS score between 481 and 484. There are 21,000 people with a CRS score between 471 and 480, 17,000 between 461 and 470, 13,500 between 451 and 460, and then 61,000 people with a CRS score between 401 and 450. Now, if your CRS score is over 480, we think the predictably unpredictable IRCC, who run Canadian immigration, if they keep doing these draws, then obviously the score will come down, and if you've got above 480, you'll be absolutely fine. If you've got less than 480, certainly if you've got less than 470, we really recommend working on your CRS score to get it back up and get it higher, because it seems unlikely that the CRS score will drop to 470. It may end up stopping somewhere in the 470s. Obviously, we're not entirely sure. We've got a great video, if I may say so myself, about how to improve your CRS score, so check that out via the link above. What was the other thing we needed to talk about? Yes.
Targeted draws.
Targeted draws. So the IRCC, the governing body for immigration in Canada, mentioned that in 2023 they'd start doing targeted draws, but provided very little information about that, what that would involve. Would it be targeted by age, occupation, ability to speak French? We're not entirely sure, but they said they will start in spring 2023, which, according to my calendar, is right now. So let's see, keep your eyes peeled for that one. We don't have any news on it, but we will let you know as soon as they do one of these much talked about targeted draws. So that's all for now. It's good news. The CRS cutoff score is coming down. They were taking 7,000 people a week out of the Express Entry pool. Long may that continue. Stay tuned. We'll bring you all the news on Express Entry as it happens, and we'll see you next time.